Good morning.
Morning, morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Somebody,
Instead of
somebody.
budgeting, we had all these tools, and we had all like the 4 hour, the 1 hour.
Oh no, that you're thinking of TradingView,
Oh, okay,
TradingView.com.
right. This one,
Uh,
trading view.
how's everyone doing today?
I'm sorry.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Good
Good morning,
morning. Good
everybody.
morning.
How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. We had a little, the Zoo was open, so that's why everyone was unmuted, but it's left to open talk since it's Friday. Are you in shorts? No, I'm not in shorts today. I don't wear shorts. I'm afraid of spiders. Spiders might, get in the shorts, so gotta be careful.
Hey, what's up, Roger?
Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
good morning,
Good, man.
Rakeel. How did it go yesterday?
Good.
Perfect.
Right.
Let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Caught these cells over there. Cells when price breaks up low here. Very nice. Okay, so what I gotta do is I gotta send an invitation to one of our guests. So we're gonna have a guest here today. Let's take a look at GPJPY here though. Let's take a look at US30 here. Okay, US30 is up. So if this is going up, I think pre-markets are bullish. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, they're bullish. Like 200 points, 190 points. Doesn't really make much that big of a difference here. And let's go back to GJ. Let's go towards, wow, this is still dropping here. Let's go towards the daily. The daily is coming down, filling the wick. There's I mean, if GJ keeps dropping to 130, 132, I think that's like 34 more pips. I think it could come down over there since it's a weekly close here too. Looking on the 4 hour, it does make sense. It could continue down a little bit more. Let's take a look on the 1 hour because I want to see what's happening here. Let me just bring this down here. Over here, we need to see what's going on in the 1 hour time frame. So if we go left and if we zoom in, so this is the support on the 1 hour at 131.850, and then this is another support on the 1 hour as price starts to continue down. So we're gonna put a line over here because this was support formed, and then this is some other support here. This whole area is like a problematic area or something, like this whole area around 132 100 to 132 300. Right, so let's go back to the right hand side. Let's go back to where price is right now. Yeah, we're continuing to go down. If you're trading at this point, I mean, I don't know, if I just came to the charts, which I did right now, I'd probably wait. I'd probably wait for like a retest or for like a minor resistance to be formed. At the same time, it's Friday, so you shouldn't be forcing anything either way. Can it be please advised that what course of action could be taken as I started trading with 70 trades, but when I applied for withdrawal, they disappeared? Well, that means you can't withdraw anymore because they disappeared, right?
Hey, Raja.
Hey, hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I just made 14 pips in last candle.
Oh, nice.
So, Roger, how's the trip to see the house? Did you get one?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're probably going to talk about that later. Those things are the private to talk about on the live stream.
It's very nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should get one.
Yeah, maybe in like 4 or 5 years, 6, 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting for a resistance form. Yeah, that's good. That's what I'm gonna probably wait for too if I'm gonna try to do it. So the guest we're having today is, let's see if I can search them here easily. Predicting Alpha. These are the guys. So we're gonna have these on here. They're fund managers. They've raised around like $1 million for their fund. I think they do options. Yeah, they have an options course. So we'll be talking about like money management, how you can use options to hedge in Forex, cool stuff like that. So let's see how this goes.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Better than talking options. I'm also done for the week, so I'm just gonna chill.
Nice.
A pretty good week.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent week. I mean, in the New York sessions, GPY, it's set up so nicely every New York session. I mean, look at that.
Remember that call that I had for 136, 300?
No, I don't remember that at all.
That was on Monday. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I held it for, I think, like 100 and something pips.
Man, trust me, I don't even remember the trades I take
I
after
know.
a day.
No, but I'm just saying on our chat that I called it, and
That's pretty good.
everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna get whipped out." I'm like, "No."
Let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, wrong chart. Wrong chart. Can you have a look at US 30? Alright, let's take a look at, let's do some analysis on US 30 here due to popular demand. Or actually, you know what? First things first. Let's check out our news, right? This is the first thing you need to check out. Check out news. We have core retail sales for CAD. They're expecting bad numbers. I think they're going to be good numbers, just like the USD. Because if you remember, USD had good numbers. Where's that? Retail sales for USD was on Tuesday. Yeah, they're pretty good. So CAD retail sales, I think they should also be pretty good. So US 30 is coming up. It broke above like a resistance thing. It's coming up into this like wicking area here to the left around 26,300. Looking on the daily is bullish. Looking on the 1 hour, 1 hour created a support. Kind of like a support was formed here. Seems like it may continue down to kind of like make a support and go up. So yeah, I think if a support is formed on US 30, it should go up. I mean, I've been looking at these formations on US 30 for about 2 months now, and it does not follow a regular price action like GJ. It's pretty tough. Oh, I took 2 losses in London. Should I not trade anymore? Oh, wow. The answer is no. I'm not looking to take any trades on Friday. I have a very good winning streak going. I'm not going to jeopardize that. Trading is not about, contrary to popular belief, like trading is not about making money. At the end of the day, it's not about making money. It's about seeing if you can have correct decisions, with a clear mind. If you can have correct decisions with a clear mind, money is just going to be a byproduct. It's just going to come with its own. That's just how it is. You start off by making $10 for sport. For sport you make $10 a day, you make maybe $50 a week, and then later on when you realize that okay, you're really getting it down, you're really perfecting discipline. Like if you look at this chart here, right? Price broke below 132,600, came down. Now, a sane trader, a normal regular trader would say, okay, we broke below this support. There's a very high chance price will maybe create like a minor resistance, and then I can take a sell for price to come down. That's what an average normal trader would think. And then they're like, okay, perfect. So I'm just going to wait for that, and I'm going to see if it works or not. If you're a new trader, if you don't have any control on yourself, especially on your discipline, you're just going to be like, okay, we're going to go down, I'm going to take a sell, and then you're going to go in a drawdown. And what if price closes back in the range, man? If price closes back in the range, then it's not a sell anymore. Then this move down becomes a fake out. So that's why you gotta wait. Let's take a look at this chart here. Sacha, goat shit. Let's see if we can get a retest on this zone. Yeah, man. Exactly. What's this 15-minute chart? Oh, 30-minute chart. Yeah. Kind of like the same thing. If I would want to take a trade, that would be the trade. Because you can just see how clean this support is, how clean this break is. So retest should be even cleaner. Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. So Fridays should be days where you just chill and you go over your performance. I mean, look at this. Looking for a sell and break, but not sure when to go direct and break. Yeah, see, this is like he's not sure when to wait for break and retest since last kind of close out on bearish opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's when you start looking at things and you start looking to see how could you have entered the trade. You know, if I was to look at this, right? If I was to look at this big candle move, now obviously, you know, if you're trading, your dream or your goal every day is to catch a big candle. You know, because a big candle is a big move. You're like, okay, well, how could I have caught this big candle move? So let's measure this, right? This is around 40 pips. So, you know, someone can say, well, okay, let's start investigating how could we have caught this move. So let's do that. So it happened like 45 minutes ago. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. 1 hour made no sense because, you know, this 1 hour candle closed bullish, but this one went bearish, right? So let's go to the 30-minute time frame. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. So, okay, perfect. The only way we could have caught this move is especially when the previous 4 hour was also bearish, right? If the 4 hour was bearish, you could expect that this one to go bearish as well, but you want to know how, right? The first way I could see is that maybe taking a sell once this 4 hour broke the low of the previous 4 hour, right? And then stop could be like above the current candle and you could anticipate price to come down to fill this wick here, which is like 27 pips. That's one idea. Looking on the 15-minute time frame, I think an entry when this 15-minute broke the low of the previous 15-minute would have made sense too, which is stop is like 12, 13 pips, and TP could have been, you know, like right down over here or even below this area, and ultimately the higher time frame wick fill down towards, you know, 132, 400. So now you have that idea. Now you're like, okay, maybe that's how I could have caught this trade. You know, now this situation is going to happen over and over again. Man, this is going to happen. This might happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to happen again. And then once you realize this, that, okay, I've missed this big candle move and this is going to happen again, it just starts to make sense. Because now you're like, okay, I'm just going to wait for this now. If it happens next time, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready to execute on it. That's not an easy trade. Yes, exactly. It's pretty hard. You know, it's pretty hard. There was no confirmation, so you had to enter based on impulse. You know, that's an impulse trade. So first you wait for confirmation trades. Those are easy trades, and then you have impulse trades, which are extremely difficult. Yeah. So those things happen. That's how you learn, and you know, you get better. Will you make a video on how much you made this week? Yeah, for sure. I think I did like 7,000 this week, trading 2 lots. Yesterday was a good day. I sold on a 5 lot and ran almost like 100 pips. That was pretty cool. Why do you use FXCM chart instead of Oanda? Oh, I don't know. It's just set by default. Honestly, I don't look at those little complicated things. What if GJ really set up nicely for a sell? Will you take a sell with reduced lot size? Yes. You know, so I would want it to maybe continue up a little bit because this was a strong support, right? This was strong support. Price came down here yesterday at London close, came down, and then boom, got rejected. Came down again, you know, in New York afternoon, got rejected again. Came down again in Asian, got rejected again. You know, tried coming down after London open, but then eventually broke down pre-New York. Now it broke down. So what it did is basically it created a low, right? So you'd want to make like a little resistance here to continue down. We will also have to see what session I'm in for those entry setups. Oh yeah, obviously. You know, I mean, you have to make sure you're in the correct session, the session you trade. Why did you reduce your lots this week for most of your trades? I had something personal going on which wasn't allowing me to use more risk, you know, so that's why I used smaller lot sizes. Plus, I reached my goal too. I reached my goal in the first week and a half of June, so that's why I decided to reduce my risk and to just play it as it is. How long do you normally stay in trades for? Probably like 15, 20 minutes, maximum 30 minutes, something like that. Why do you do paid partnership with Hugo's Way when you use Vantage FX? Because Vantage FX doesn't do paid partnership. Wouldn't people want to see how much you made the money on how serves the purpose otherwise? So that's fine. Let's take a look at this chart. Oh wow. This is runner closed at BE. How do you manage runners, especially TP? This chart has a lot of things going on. I don't know where you entered. I think entry was over here. Or over. Well, you won the trade, so that's pretty good. Managing runners just like put stops at break even. I put stops at break even all the time, man. Like if I'm gonna put stops at break even on like 10 trades, only 1 or 2 of them are gonna start running. Only 1 or 2 are gonna go to like, 80 pips, 100 pips. The rest all get stopped at break even. Honestly, they all get stopped at break even. What made you realize price action alone works among thousands of other ideas like waves, indicator systems? Because everything was so complicated, it was really complicated. And I was like, man, Forex can't be that complicated. It has to be really, really easy. So I really just started focusing on, price action and the way candles are moving. And it worked out really well for the most part. Someone is planning a buy on GJ. Someone is planning an attack on GJ. Waiting this candle to close bullish. Still got 8 minutes left. 15.7 pip stop loss in the case next candle breaks the candle's high. Okay. Yeah, you have enough range then, man. I think you have enough range. So you're looking to see if a support is formed over here so you can take a buy going up. That makes sense. See, the next level, we're at a level right now. That's the whole problem. So let's just bring it all the way here to the right hand side, right? Because this is the 1 hour time frame and it's a very important level here. Yeah, we're exactly at this level. So we're going to see if price respects this level or not. Got 6 minutes left for this to close. We talked about buy stops, sell stops. What's the buy limit or sell limit? I think you can just Google that idea. If you don't know what that is, I don't think the stream is for you right now at this point. Fake out, small resistance. Entered here as the candle starts breaking the close of the last. Okay. Expecting price to come down with. Beautiful. That's pretty good. I think if this is the 30-minute chart and this candle is about to close the 30-minute, you could probably bring your stops down above the high of this candle. Wait, is this the... Oh, this is the 4K screen. Nice. See how much real estate you have here to work on the screen. Recently, I've noticed that I'm either too confident or too relaxed executing the trade. How did you overcome a situation like that and find a balance? See now, you need to be too relaxed to take a trade. You need to be really relaxed. And the only way you're really relaxed in taking a trade is when you're waiting for certain things. Like if you're looking for buys, right? If you're looking for buys, you're going to be relaxed and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to wait for a bullish candle to form here. When a bullish candle is going to form, you're going to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to put my stops below the wick of this candle, let's say, for example, right over here. You're going to put your stops here. You're going to be like, okay, This is going to be like 9-10 pips. All right. So what am I risking on these 9-10 pips? Let's say if you have $1,000 account, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to risk $30 on this trade. So you're going to take a buy and you're going to risk $30 and you're going to tell yourself, okay, if I lose $30, it's no big deal. But if I win when there's a high chance of me winning, I'm going to win maybe $40 and you're going to take a trade. No stress, nothing, you know, because now you've already entered the trade accepting what your downside is. You know, you're accepting what your loss is going to be. So you enter the trade, and if it goes up, you're like, perfect, I won the trade. If it goes down, you're like, okay, well, that's why I had a stop loss, you know, and it hit it, and that's perfect. But when you are not too confident, then you start making mistakes. You know, it's called to trip. You start tripping. Does the resistance need to be close to the zone? Yeah, it depends, you know, like the resistance could be, maybe price is making resistance right over here to fall. You know, who knows? It's GJ. GJ does things we're not unsure of sometimes, you know, or it may form a resistance at like, you know, 132.511, 132.550. We're just waiting. Overall bias for GJ, for me, myself, looking at the weekly here as well now, is that we should be coming down towards, I mean, our initial bias was we should come down towards, you know, 132.600, but obviously we've passed that. And now the next one becomes like around, you know, 132 even, around like 38 pips, 40 more pips coming down. Because this is the daily support. This area here, if you see this is the daily support here. You know, this is where the daily candle started creating support before it launched up. You know, now daily candles are coming down with the same ferocity. You know, so maybe this is going to be the area where it might come down to, but that's for us to later see what's going to happen. Because right now we're just looking at the small time frames to see if we get those confirmations. Anyone in the chat? Yes, everyone is here. Oh, buy limit or sell limit. Oh. Let's take a look at this chart. This chart is clean traffic to the left, looking for resistance to form, and the low broken unanticipated position. I think a better sell is going to be once you see a resistance formed, and then you take a sell based on that. Are you going to get Uncle Bull on the stream? I don't know who that is. How does it feel to have an audience? You know what? It doesn't really feel. I think the first 2 weeks of me doing the live streams was when I felt something, when I was like, yeah, there's a little bit of a pressure to be in a trade, but that slowly went away. That just went away. Now it's just like whatever. You know, now if I have like 10 people watching or like 2,000 people watching, it's the same thing. When I hit close half on Magic Keys, will it close half of all positions? Yeah, there's a different settings you can choose. You can choose whether to close half on all or whether to one by one choose which one you want to close. All right, so 30-minute candle has just closed. If you look on the 15-minute candle closed bearish, right? it closed bearish, so it's like there's momentum to continue down. The 30-minute candle closed like a doji, you know, a doji. So for me to take a sell here is not, I don't want to take sell. I wouldn't want to take a sell here because the previous 30-minute candle closed like a doji. The 1 hour candle closed bearish. So ideally I would want to have like a retest. You know, now this for me now, okay, let's say if this was a Wednesday, you know, if this was a Wednesday and I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to wait for a retest. Now I'm accepting that I may miss the trade. I'm accepting that the candle may continue dropping down and I might not get that retest. But if I might not get that retest, that's totally fine, because if I get that retest, I'm taking a trade. I'm making money at that trade. But if I don't get a retest, then it is what it is. You know, you can't really say, oh man, should have gotten retest. It is what it is. Because you have to trade based on your confluences, you know, based on things you're comfortable with. What do you think about Nick Sean? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about everybody. Raja, trying to update my magic keys so I can switch buy and sell open calc lines. I forgot how I did that last time. Oh yeah, so what you got to do is you got to press this button right over here. Oh, actually on the screen I'll show you. Yeah, this button right here. This one. The bottom left button. Let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, Euro USD. Nice. Nice chart. Very nice. No labeling, nothing. You took a winning trade. Beautiful. Fridays are so awesome, you know. I don't have to trade. I don't have to look for trades. It's chilling. Oh, that's me. That's me from years ago. Like 12, 13 years ago. That was when I was creating an album. I had a rap album. I made a rap album back in the day. It had like 11 tracks on it.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, it had 11 tracks on it.
Well, where can we find it? We need to take a listen to this.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, I was in high school. I wanted to rap album. So I wanted to make an album. So, you know, this one night I was taking a walk with my dad and I told him, hey, I made an album. He's like, oh, nice. Whose pictures did you put in it? He thought I was talking about a photo album. I was like, no, a rap album. He's like, what? What are you going to do with the rap album? Go get your exams, you know, it's a study. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that was my first entrepreneurial thing. I printed 10 albums and I gave them to a store and they sold 8 of them.
Damn.
That was my first hustle money I made. So that motivated me to sell DVDs in the time when no one buys DVDs. That was hilarious. What's your biggest win and what's your biggest loss? I think my biggest loss was like 26,000 I closed on AUD USD. That was pretty bad. I held that in a drawdown for about 4 days. It was basically AUD USD was trending up and I was selling. And it just kept going in drawdown and I kept selling. I added more positions, added more, and it kept going up. And then there was AUD news coming up. So I said, hey, you know what? It's going up. I think news is going to drop it. News came and it just shot up even more. And I was like, oh, no way. So I just closed it. Closed it like minus 26,000, lost 50% of the account. And then 2 hours later, it dropped down all the way. Dropped all the way down. And when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, how could I have, you know, like managed it? It was just like, I just looked at it, I'm like, man, okay, like 1 hour candles, 4 hour candles were just making higher highs and higher lows, you know, so it just made no logical sense for me to hold it. But that's some things you learn, right? If will you take a buy if price closed above support in 15 minutes? I think it should. I mean, no, I'm not gonna take a buy. I'm gonna look for sells. If I'm gonna look for buys, I want buys above 132,600 once price comes up and closes back in the range. Then I would want buys because then this move down would be a fake out. You know, if I want sells, I want price to do kind of like a retest here to take sells. So sell stop below 30-minute candles, sure. You want to do a sell stop on Friday below 30-minute candles? Go ahead. But I'm going to wait for price to create like resistance and then I'm going to take a sell. You guys have to remember, there are 4 trading days, you know, actually 3 trading days, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Really high volume trading days. Monday sometimes are really good days. You know, Friday sometimes are really good days. But for the most part, Friday is just like Freaky Fridays. You know, like anything can happen on Fridays. So I tend to just now I tend to just stay away. As I've matured a little bit, I just tend to like be very cautious on Fridays. Like if I've made money throughout the week, I will feel no urge to take a trade on Friday. Is it worth buying the TradingView Premium? Yeah, I mean, I bought it. I paid it like $120 a year when they had. Oh, actually, you know what? The way I bought it was I got their trial version and just canceled the trial version 2 days before it expires. Because that's what's going to happen is then after 2 days, automatically they'll start charging you, right? So if you cancel 2 days before, then they'll offer you a big discount. They're like, oh, wait, don't go, man. Don't go. We'll give you this much discount. How about that? I looked at it, I'm like, perfect, makes sense. And then I got it. Always aim to save money, man. Like, seriously. Aim to save money. I think US 30 is now continuing bullish here. Should continue bullish. I heard TradingView Pro has a simulation you can backtest. Yeah, you can like go back in candles. That works that way. Could you check your private messages later on Slack? Yes, I'll check my private messages in like 2 hours, 3 hours. Because that's the time I have set to answer private messages. Alright, let's take a look at this. Oh, wrong chart from the gulag. I have a question. I'm in drawdown and I really want to, I'm in drawdown and I really want to buy soft forex to learn more. Shall I withdraw even I'm in loss? Yeah, I think if you haven't really had enough winning days, I think you should stop trading and start really watching the charts. Yeah, I think you should do that. When will the magic key order from this week be shipped out? If you go read the website, on the website it clearly says that orders are shipped out every Monday. So yeah, there you go. Every Monday. It's like a ship, you know, the ship leaves every Monday. Santa's little carriage. Second week being profitable, up 9% for the week. Beautiful. Went from trading 3 pairs in all 3 sessions to trading only GJ and only NY session. Look at that. Man, this guy's up 9%, trading 1 pair in 1 session. I don't know if this is motivation for you guys or what is, you know. So, I mean, you just gotta look at the people around you who are doing good and just be like, how are they doing good? What are they doing? What am I not doing? Trump confirms aliens are real. Awesome. Hope Trump stays in the office so we have another good 4 years. Forex Vault YouTube channel made an accusation about you. Is it true? I have no idea who Forex Vault is. I have no beef with anyone because, I mean, I just don't know who these guys are. Let's take a look at this chart. Oh, okay, looking for buys. Okay, makes sense. On your JPY, I think your JPY is still ranging over here, and you're looking for buys up there. That would make sense. Um, oh man, what's this? I started trading during quarantine. Was the market as volatile pre-corona? Yeah, so far. I think in quarantine it has been like really volatile. Your JPY looking for, yeah, I think if you get a 15-minute candle closing bearish like this, and then if a 30 minutes also closing bearish, I think you could get a sell coming down to this yesterday's low you have marked here. Let's take a look here on your JPY. Oh, okay. 30 minutes is coming down. I think 30 minutes is going to continue moving down. It should continue moving bearish here. Yeah, fill this wick and continue bearish. I think this could have been a really good entry right over here. And GJ is also falling. Look at that price, 274. Wow. Beautiful. See, I'm not in it. I'm just spectating because I wanted price to come up a little bit.
GA activated my sell stop, and now I'm worried because of the time. I didn't want this drop at this time. I wanted,
Oh, Kervin should have told us about your sell stop.
well, I was expecting this sell later on around 7:45, not this time. So maybe this is gonna be a fake close back in this small range, but I don't know. Uh, whatever. I'm gonna close 50%.
Nice. How big was this move here from the 15-minute candle? Oh, 15 pips.
Basically
Not bad.
just 50. Yeah. Since 132 flat is about 20 pips below, maybe we get there in the next 30 minutes. But I think this sell stop got activated too early for me.
Ooh, your JPY is coming down too. Going down further. If you check out his video he made on you, I would personally feel comfortable. Before I buy your course. Listen, I just don't know, man. I mean, I just don't give a shit about people making videos. Kervin is Mexican. Someone said if you're Russian.
No, not Russian, not Mexican. I'm Honduran, from Honduras, Central America. Trust.
Wow, man, GJ is still dropping hard. That is nuts. Look
And
at
I
this.
Yeah.
I got in the cells on the 15-minute break, but I didn't like the way it was moving, so I just closed it out.
How come everyone starts talking when they all go in profits? When no one speaks about that before they have. Come on, man, you gotta help me out here.
Well, I'm gonna help you. You know
I'm
who
right.
else is gonna drop? There's a big chance for the drop. US 30. Yeah. Once US 30 break, if US 30 start breaking below 26,240 and 40, it's gonna be a nice drop toward 26,152, which is gonna be like 100 and something points.
So since GJ broke that level that you have, Roger, if the 30 minutes close below it and it retraces, then I'll look for sells again on the break of the 15-minute candle.
Nice. Let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, wrong chart. Let's take a look. This is GJ 4 hour coming down. Wait for a retest on lower time frame, then look for sell. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I mean, now the train is gone. Yes, that's fine. It's hard not to trade, but I'm 1% positive no trade. Perfect. If you can just look at most predictable moves and watch them play out and not even think about, entering, I think you won. You won the psychological game. Oh, nice. We got a nice penis pattern over here. Beautiful.
Childish.
Must be a troll.
Caught that move and I'm out. Oh, beautiful. Wow. I think this would have been taken based on a 15-minute smaller 10 pip stop and like almost like a 20 pip gain.
Yeah, I took that trade. But I didn't want to call it out because I didn't want to. You were talking, so I didn't want to just.
Oh no, it's a lack of confidence. That's what it is.
Small balls.
Yeah, you guys gotta really get some iron balls here, man.
Man, you get pissed off every time we, cut you off when you're talking. So now we learn,
Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. It's the same chart. How much percentage of your trade do you close when leaving runners? I think like 90%. 90% I close and then leave the rest running. Or sometimes, like when I'm up on the day, I just let the whole position run at break even. That's what happened yesterday. Yesterday I opened a 5 lot when price was about to drop, and I think it was right over here somewhere. Yeah, somewhere over here. I opened a 5 lot and it just once it broke below 133,500, put stops at break even, and then that was it. It just kept on going down. I think it closed around 132,570. When predicting alpha joining the stream, I have no idea. I sent them the email, so I think they'll be coming on soon. Take a look at this chart. This is looking for buy if breakout. Okay, no trade zone. I think there are also CAD news as well. So you gotta start looking at the CAD news too. Starts coming on. I think I had a zone here drawn. Where is it? Oh, it broke below. Now it's approaching another zone here. Let's take a look on the 30-minute. Constantly looking left. So we broke that support. We're coming down. Now we're approaching. These are clean candles here. Plus there was a little bit of a support over there. So we don't know whether it's going to create support here or not until it creates a support. Right, so if I'm looking at this, I'm just like, okay, well, it's still falling. It might do a little retest and then continue down too. So again, I'd be looking at a price to create. Holy, all right, Kevan is going on mute. In the first week, I've been profitable, not by much, but I'm going to take it and continue to progress. That's perfect.
I closed GJ, Raja.
Beautiful.
You know what's got me really kind of salivating is on the way up we could be longing all this. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I'm thinking. I'm salivating it as it goes down even more. I'm thinking we're gonna catch all this on the way up as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing because like if it's falling this week, next week there's going to be a very hard retracement.
Absolutely, and all on the weekly and everything. There's really strong buy zones. As it hits really as it goes lower.
Yeah, exactly. There's also a monthly candle right here. Monthly candle. Now monthly candle is flipped. Someone was telling me yesterday that the monthly candle is going to come down to fill this wick, and I said, well, okay, if the monthly candle comes and fill this wick, that means the pound well, it's not far away. It's like 300 pips away. It could around 129, 400 even. Looking on the weekly, that would make sense to retest this low over here. We'll see what happens next week. So far, it would have been really amazing if price did like some sort of a retest. But it is what it is. Someone is calling GJ down to 124. Are you going to hold it down to 124? That's the question. I think for the most part, we should be more focused on where price is going to go in the next 3 hours or 4 hours, instead of thinking where price is going to go next month or 2 or 3 weeks from now. Because if you can focus on the present, what's happening currently, man, you can learn a lot about yourself, about the markets, about the way the candles are moving. Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. This is 30-minute bearish candle, 15-minute close bullish, new resistance formed. Okay, you took a sell entry short when the price broke the low. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think this is a good trade. This is what we were talking about earlier on, how you could have caught that big candle, this one here. So Eleanor took this trade once the candle started breaking the low of the previous candle, and she took a trade and I think it won. Beautiful. That's perfect. Can someone explain how to use the target? Oh, yeah, I think you need to go read the website. Oh, wrong chart. Wrong chart. And you even sent the chart 3 times.
Probably a troll.
Probably just the wrong chart. The wrong chart, man. Resistance formed, waiting for 30-minute candle to close bearish. Stop above 30-minute candle. Euro New Zealand, okay, I see this. It could work. Maybe you can find some more information on the 15-minute time frame, but it could work. So I was watching The Big Short yesterday. Oh, perfect. Where can I find info about magic keys? I don't know. I have no idea. This is why the YouTube chat is the gulag. You know, like if you go to the YouTube chat, there is a picture of magic keys, and right above that picture it says magickeys.trade. The website is there, and I just don't understand how someone cannot read simple things on the screen. It just blows my mind. It's, man, good thing it's a Friday. Wow, this is scary. Trust me, this is scary. This is like when your mom tells you to, hey, go get me a glass of water, and you're like, oh, I can't find water. Like, bro, like, come on.
What? If this question comes on a Monday, oh man.
Like, I just don't know, man. I think people like that, you shouldn't be trading. I mean, if you can't read, it says on the screen www.magickeys.trade, and there's a big picture right underneath it. Turned into your stream today. Looks good. Here's my GJ outlook. All right, let's take a look at this outlook here. Yeah, you know, Fridays are just for like banter talk here and there. Weekly bearish, daily bearish, 4-hour bearish, everything bearish, buy, sells, type of trade, break and retest, waiting for resistance around previous support to form. Very nice. Looks good. Looks good. Everyone here just throwing rocks around and punching walls. Yeah, that's what I feel like in the YouTube chat. What's going on? Most people have blindfolds on and they're just throwing rocks. Friday, fun day Friday. Why there's a zone on 132, 190? Let me answer that question here in a bit here. Let's take a look at this chart here first. Took sells on previous candle, broke support, close 17 pips. Beautiful. So why is there a zone at 132, 190? 190. Oh yeah, there is, right? Because if you look left, all you gotta do is look left, right? You go look left and then you're gonna find that zone there. We looked left like 4 times here today. Hey, do you think this was a good trade management or should I have trusted my initial judgment? I don't think you sent the chart, so we can't look at that. All right, what's this? Clean traffic will enter when the candle closes bearish and the next candle will have a wick and starts breaking the low here because we have a trend. Okay, stop loss will be above the next candle. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm probably gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait for some sort of retracement or something. What do you mean by this? Defines at which amount of pips from entry the target should be moved to when target at default is pressed. Yeah, it basically defines how many pips away it's gonna get your target. Someone is up $600 for the week. That turned back to 362. Messed with my confidence and psychology a bit. Any tips on dealing with that? Yes. Stop over trading and stop over risking. And stop risking your profits. That's what you need to do. I mean, honestly, if you're up $600 for the week, you know, and if you know that that's a considerable amount of money, then I don't think you should be like, you know, risking half of it on a single day or things like that. You should be very careful. Me, I'm in no trades today. I'm just providing moral support here. Providing moral support here today. When you look for retracement, do you expect it to retrace the zone or below the zone? See, if I'm looking for a retracement over here, I'm looking for a price to retrace, maybe create like a resistance and then continue moving down. Because on Fridays, 2 things are going to happen on Fridays, right? Fridays are your weekly closes. So what's going to happen is that maybe on Friday, the weekly candles are going to continue pushing down towards, you know, let's say 131.930, or it may start retracing. You know, if price retraces on a small time frame, then that's going to be a retracement on the weekly candle. You know, that's going to be the weekly candle creating a wick. Why are Mondays and Fridays super slow trading days? Because, you know, Mondays are when everyone is coming back into the week to start working. You know, everyone's maybe they don't want to work a lot, so they're taking it easy. Friday, same thing. You know, we have Friday. Friday, no one wants to really work a lot, so that's why it's kind of slow on Fridays too. Can you check AUD JPY? No, sir, we can't because the AUD is closed and JPY is closed. So it's going to be detrimental to look at that. Let's take a look here. Resistance, that break and created support. Okay, good. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think US30 should continue moving bullish here. I mean, you have the 30-minute candle closing, 30-minute candle close like a weak body candle, which means the volume is kind of like dying a little bit. The 1 hour candle still open. Let's take a look on the 15-minute. 15-minute is also bullish here, so I think it should be good. Should stay above 26,240 and then continue moving up towards 26,320. I think it's still valid. But this 30-minute candle closing like a weak body is something that kind of bothers me a little bit. With pre-market data up, anticipating price to move up to 26,380 around NY open support created. Yeah, that makes sense. So this area needs to hold. This area right here. How long did it take you to overcome over trading habit? It honestly just got to the point where I was just sick and tired of just losing because of over trading, and I just decided, okay, you know what, this has to stop. This is madness, and it just stopped. One day I just stopped. One day I just decided that, okay, you know what, I'm just not going to over trade anymore. I'm just going to take 1 or 2 trades, and I'm going to do that for the next 3 weeks, and then I'm going to see what happens. And man, my losses, they become way less. If you look at your trading history right now, and if you scroll through your trading history, you're going to see a lot of losses there. The only way to get that number small is to stop over trading. That's it. Simple. The more you trade, more losses you're going to get. Less you trade, your losses are going to get smaller, But it doesn't mean your wins are going to get bigger. Your wins are always going to stay the same. For the most part, for a very, very long time, your wins will always remain the same. But it's your losses that will become less. Once your losses become smaller, your wins, they look bigger, with respect to your losses. That's very important. I just started journaling this week, and I have noticed that now I have analysis paralysis. How do you overcome this? Analysis paralysis happens when you see a sell, but then you also start looking for buys. So you need to just stick to one thing, either sells or buys, and take action. History has a support formed at 132 even. Okay, and so it doesn't make sense to take sells for me. I'm guessing I wait for it to clear, candle to clear and traffic to retrace. Okay, you're looking for buys. Okay, that makes sense. You're looking for buys. Then there's going to be some sort of waiting involved here. Oh, someone sent us a good opportunity on Euro USD. It's a selling opportunity on Euro USD. Let's take a look here. Euro USD, looking for sells below this, aiming for down over here. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think if you remove this volume indicator from the chart, your chart is going to look much better. Hi, Raja. Thanks for all your free advice. I've learned to close half my position when I'm not comfortable with the trade. I'm up 85 pounds this week, 5%. Oh, very nice. Beautiful. You're up 85 pounds this week. That's amazing, man. So if you average it out, you're like above, let's say, 50 pounds per week. 50 pounds per week, that's 200 pounds a month. I think that's pretty good income for only working maybe 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. Can I make it back from being down 7,000? I'm trying to get better on losses. No. This is the thing. Most people, when they take losses, They come to the charts and they come with the mindset of, okay, you know what? I have to recover all my losses. You know, that's great. You have to recover your losses. If it was your money you lost, if it was someone else's money you lost, you want to pay them back, that's totally fine. You want to make back your losses. But the thing you have to understand is like, if you keep that pressure on your head of like, you know what, I have to make those losses back, now you're going to be pressured to succeed. You know, you're going to be pressured to take a winning trade, to make money, because now you want to make those losses back. I've tried that. I've seen people do that. It doesn't work. You know, for the most part, it doesn't work. You know, that creates even more stress. So what you got to do is, if you're taking losses, you just got to come back the next day and say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to focus on like step by step. You know, step by step, you take one win, because every trading day is going to be completely different than the previous trading day. Have a good day, Raja, and everyone have to head now. Some things to enjoy. Oh, thank you, Hayden. Say hi to 6ix9ine for me. Yeah, 6ix9ine. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, Roger, you know, the days I was losing, I did the analysis and I was doing up to 15 trades.
Yeah.
And so now, if I lose 2 trades in a row, that's it. I stop, and it saved me a bundle now. You know, from I think I traded about 3.7 lot, and my total loss was only $3. That's not bad, you know.
That's pretty good.
Very
3.7,
good,
$3.
yeah.
Yeah. So someone sent this chart here, which is very alarming. This chart is a sell after price has fallen so much. I don't think this is a good sell. I think, you know what Warren Buffett says? Warren Buffett says, now we got to follow his advice, right? He says, buy low and sell high. You know, what does that mean? That means if you're selling over here, you're selling the low, which doesn't make sense. So you got to sell the high. A high is going to be when price creates a resistance. Then you're like, okay, now we're going to sell the high. In a downtrend, you sell the highs. In uptrends, you buy the lows. So that's what he says. So right over here, it doesn't apply over here. Make sense? Makes sense. I'm breaking even for the most part for the last 2 months. Have made some progress, but have not had a breakthrough. What do you think about simply trading on simulator for a couple of months? Now, see, that's a problem which a lot of people have. You know, they're good traders, they're breaking even. Now they got to figure out, okay, what's going on. I think the number one thing you should focus on at that point is to see that, okay, why are you, like, on what trades are you breaking even? You know, would you break even if you reduced your losses? Would you break even if you kind of like figure out a way that if you're taking a loss, how could you really reduce that loss before it hits your stop loss, right? Because that's what happens. Like normally when you have a 10 pip stop loss, you're aiming for like, you know, 10, 12 pip take profit. And if your stop loss is getting hit at 10 pips, you know, you need to figure out, okay, what can you see in that moment so you can close a partial position so that when your stops do get hit, you're not losing what you expected to lose, but you're losing less, right? So that's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, Vander BLFXK. Yeah, I think you need to wait a little bit there. I would want to sell if it's like a minor resistance form to say take a sell. My second week in a row in profits. Oh, nice. Beautiful. 5 trades this week, 4 wins. Look at that, YouTube gulag. Look at that motivation. This is inspiration. When people message me saying that they're winning, that inspires me to win more. Do you have a mental checklist before entering a trade? Yes. So if I'm going to look for sells, I want a resistance formed so I can take a sell for price to continue moving down. When's the guest coming? I have no idea. I sent them the email for the Zoom link. I sent them the Zoom link on Instagram, so I don't know what's going on. I made my person best this week. Oh, 500 pounds. Only education I've used are these live streams for the 3 months. That's amazing. 500 pounds. Do you trade off stream? No. What other confirmation do you use than a resistance level? That's it. That's it. There's no other confirmations. If a resistance is formed when a 30-minute candle closes bearish, that's the perfect one I would want, and then I take a sell. That's it. Man, some people think that there are some secrets which we don't share. There are no secrets, trust me. Everything I take a trade is based on, like, you know how I take a trade. Wow, look at this 15-minute candle. It's kind of like creating that same structure right over here. Do you think just letting trades run can be bad? No, I think it'll be pretty good. You can get some really, really nice trades. I mean, if people have a runner running from this area here, man, this is going to go straight down towards, 131 even. Like 15 more pips. Easy. Would you have to see a bearish candle form to put in a sell order? Yes, because you want candles to close in your direction. Wow, what a move on GJ. Just keeps dropping, annihilating buyers here. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. This is Euro New Zealand. Yeah, I think it could work once it comes into this territory here, coming down. How many pairs do you think a trader should focus on? I think a trader should focus on like 2 pairs max. 2 pairs maximum. Do GJ and GU correlate? No, they don't correlate at all. I think in London session they correlate a little bit because they correlate with the same thing, but they do correlate in New York session, provided that let's say if you have GPJPY, let's say the pound is really strong, right, and the dollar is really weak, then GJ and GU will correlate, right? And the reason they will correlate is because the yen is close, so GJ just moved based on the pound, and GU moves based on both the pound and the dollar. So for GU to really move, you would want either the pound or the dollar to want to be really, really strong or want to be really, really weak. Do you regard not taking part, or do you regret not taking part of this sell? No, not at all. I don't regret at all. I don't now since the past 2 years, I don't regret anything doing in trading. Even if it's a loss. I mean, if it's a dumb loss, then I'll close it early, but I don't regret not taking this sell. I'm fine with it. What, according to you, profit margin per week should a new trader focus on initially? Well, that's up to you. Why did you know? Oh, did you know Brandon Carter FX teaches smart money institutional trading he learned from Anton Creel? Oh, nice. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was this smart either. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. This is, oh, gold can fill this. Gold can fill that. Let's take a look at that. So you're saying gold is going to fill all the way to 1738. Let's take a look on the 1 hour here. 1 hour is creating a support. 1 hour is closing bullish in 15 minutes. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. 30 minutes is also closing bullish. It's closing bullish above, I'd say, like these areas, trying to go up. Yeah, I think I think so. It could. We could get that happen. Wow, looks like this 15 minutes is going to continue dropping here. Damn. That moved
Yeah,
in.
looks like JJ just gave up on his dreams.
Yeah,
He's depressed.
yeah. GJ is depressed, just crying. Anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere, often aroused by posts seen on social media website. Oh, FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah, I mean, over here, I don't think there should be any FOMO because if you expected price to go down, you could have sold, right? But if you expected price to go down and you intentionally you're like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to take it, I'm just going to watch it, that's still fine too. Because if you're just watching it go down and if you're getting FOMO, just know this will happen over, and man, trust me, there were trades I used to miss and I would take bad trades and because I would think this will never happen again. And I have come to terms that this happens again and again and again and again. Over and over and over again. What's this?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Um, have you got any runners running from previous sessions? No, I have 0 trades open. 0 trades open. My last trade was the trade I took yesterday. I'm hoping to learn something as I'm new. Spent $3,500 last year on a trading school claiming I'd earn while I learn, and I learned nothing but to lose and lost more money trading. Princess Heron, what trading school was that so we can enlighten everybody here on a Friday? Man, if someone's got $3,500 to, wow, I think you're doing good in life. If I had $3,500 to give someone to learn to trade, I would be like, man, I'm doing good. I got money in the bank. um, all right, let's take a look at this. Oh. Are trading robots worth it to buy? No, I don't think trading robots are worth to buy. Because if the trading robots really worked, everyone would be rich. Just think about that. The banks, institutions, hedge funds, they have their robots and they work. They make real money. The trading robots here, which people make, they don't make real money. No, I mean, look at this. I've been on the live streams here for the last 3 years, and for the last 2-3 years, we've seen a lot of algorithms come into play. We had algorithms from AstroFX, didn't work. We had algorithm by those guys, Algotech, it didn't work at all. So I mean, there were other algos. There was a guy called Manny G. He had algos, didn't work. Blue just lost a lot of money. So I don't think that works. I think you should focus on how you can create your own algos in your mind. Man, your mind is the best algorithm. Trust me. You can do so many things with your own mind. If you can just stay patient, take the trades you want to take. The thing about trading is that you see your result in the next 10-15 minutes. That's it. That's when you see a result. If you take a trade and if that trade is a losing trade, that's your result. That means you have to call it a day. Now you got to come back the next day. But the whole idea of waiting 24 hours for the next day is what pains people. So I think that's what really hurts people when you start to look at that way. Hello there. We have two guys over here, Sean and Ryan, outside wearing caps. I think they're trying to figure some things out over here. They're trying to figure things out here. All right. They're trying to see what's... Oh.
Hello?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Roger, what's going on?
Hey, good, man. How are you guys?
Oh, okay. We're doing okay, man. We're doing really good.
Yeah, awesome. So, just a introduction. This is Sean and Ryan. They run a page called Predicting Alpha.
Sean and Jordan.
Sean
it's
and
funny,
Jordan.
Man. My last name is Ryan, so I get that a lot, actually. That's really funny.
Sean and Jordan, and man, like what I've read about these guys is like they're really starting to make an impact on the options industries. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah. So, basically, we come from a trading background in options. We manage a small private fund in the option space, and we started a social media page where we're sharing sort of what got us there, how we were able to raise capital, consistently make returns in the market, particularly for the option space, though, because it's where we found our edge.
Oh, nice. So, like, tell us about yourself. How'd you guys got into trading in the first place? Or like, basically, I'm more interested in, like, how when two people meet and make partnerships, how did all that came about?
Oh man, well, that's a long story. It's funny, actually. Jordan and I have known each other for a really long time. We're from Markham, so just around the corner from you.
Yeah.
And basically, Jordan, when did you get into trading? Like grade 11?
Yeah, maybe early high school, mid high school, I started to get into trading, and obviously, like fucking blew up my account multiple times, as I'm sure like we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
So I started there, worked my way up, and then Sean and I met.
Yeah, so I would say for me it's about the same. Like grade 11, grade 12, I started to at least get interested in finance. Like I was kind of lucky in the sense that I grew up in an environment where there were people managing money, really into finance, working at banks, all this type of stuff. So since I was 8 years old, it's always been like learn math, go into business. It's always been the same thing over and over. So yeah, I loved it as well. But similar to everyone else, spent the first few years seriously getting burned. Like, not really in control of what was happening to my account. It felt like I was until I lost all my money. But then things started to change around, sort of around the time when Jordan and I really got together. Yeah, it all kind of actually it started with when Jordan sort of ran into my uncle. Actually, you want to tell him that story? It's kind of a funny one.
Yeah, sure. So, like when I first started trading, it was pretty challenging experience. I'm sure like a lot of people here, including like your viewers as well, know how hard it is to actually like pull money from the markets. So I was having a pretty difficult time. I met Sean's uncle there, and he told me like, hey, you know what? You gotta, change your path around a bit. And so I started getting into like quantitative trading.
Yeah, he was basically saying like, look, like it's crazy. Like a lot of people are using directional methods to trade options, forgetting that they're non-linear products. Right? Options are like super complex products. Right? There's a lot of nuance to them. They're impacted by like time and implied volatilities in the markets. Lots of different factors impacting the option space. So we needed to take an approach that actually took all of these factors into account if we wanted to make money in the space.
So what I understand about options is that you get contracts that expire in, let's say, like, can you choose to expire in like a month or a week?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Raja, so you trade Forex right now, right? Strictly Forex?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we are basically like you for basically the option space. Like we are, strictly trading options. And yeah, so options expire. So imagine like you buy, so there's even options actually on currency. And it's basically, you have to be right in a certain time period. So if you think, let's say USD CAD's going up, you can buy an option on that, but you have to be right within a certain time period. You can't just be like, buy and hold until your profit targets hit.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So quick question: what you guys mostly trade, weeklies or monthly?
We trade a whole bunch of stuff. So most of the time we're trading weeklies, just because we like that implied versus realized spread. So we actually try to capture a spread in the options market, which is basically what is the options market implying versus what do we actually think is going to happen.
Okay, you guys just strictly trade nakeds, or you guys trade like iron condors and?
Yeah, we trade spreads most of the time. So calendar spreads, iron condors, and we're just trying to take. We're really trying to take a view on inefficiencies that happen in the market.
Okay.
Right, like it's actually a really interesting thing. Like in the option space, most people look at options as like just a way. It's really good that you brought up like the iron condors and stuff, because most people just look at options as a way to get leverage on a bet, right? They're like, oh, I think Apple's going to go up, so I'm going to buy a call option. But what they overlook, and what the people crushing it in the space really take advantage of, is they go, okay, so that's what that option gives you, but how much is that option going for? Like, what is the actual dollar value on that option? And is that a fair value for the option? So they're trying to basically, like, what professionals in the space are actually doing is they're trying to find mispriced options. So they're trying to find an option that's going for $5 that's really worth $3, or an option that's, going for $5 that's really worth $10. And they're trying to capture the difference in what the option should be priced at and what it is priced at.
Okay. And a quick question: how do you guys handle theta decay? For instance, like you bought an option. What do you guys mostly trade? Like high volatility, like Apples, Googles?
Yeah. So in terms of theta decay, I guess the more volatile the stock, the more the options are going to decay, right? Because they got a higher premium to them. So we usually trade. So the way we look at it is, where are these options mispriced? So let's say, for example, you have an earnings event, and Microsoft is going to release earnings. Well, you're going to have a lot of these, let's say, retail traders coming into the market and pumping up the price of these options, right? A lot of retail traders, for example, can only buy options, so they're going to start, buying up the options. Then you're going to have, let's say, hedge funds or mutual funds buying put options to hedge their position. So there's a real like demand supply imbalance there, where the options are crazy expensive before an earnings event because everyone's buying them to take either directional view or to hedge a position. And then so Sean and I will come in here and sell those options because we think they're too expensive. And we are going to try to capture the difference between what's implied by the options versus what we think is actually going to happen.
Okay. And do you guys do earning plays? Like, do you have a separate accounts for earning plays and stuff like that?
Yeah, so we actually do it in all in one account.
Okay.
Yeah, we just manage a book, so it's like 10% of the portfolio goes to earnings trading, another 10% goes to relative value, et cetera, and you just try to diversify through strategies.
Okay.
Hey Raj, I was gonna ask you, how long have you been doing this stream for? This is a pretty big community you have here.
Yeah. So we started in August 2018. That's when we started. We started from Twitch. Then we moved to Mixer, and then we ultimately came to YouTube because YouTube was the biggest platform, And I really wanted to share the things that we were doing. So we used to have like private webinars amongst ourselves. So we thought it's going to be a great idea to have it open to everybody.
Man, that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we started from about like 50 viewers, and now we sometimes on NFP we hit 3,800. On average, we're like 2,000. So it's grown. Like we had a very good community now.
Yeah, I was actually one of the first viewers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that is that. Just because I can't see it right now, I don't have the YouTube open. How many people are watching right now?
About 2,000?
2,300.
Wow.
Unreal. What's going on, everyone?
Hey
Guys, can I ask you a question? Hey there, it's Yasser here. My question is with you guys, what kind of academic backgrounds do you guys have? You know, my background is physics mainly, but more optical physics. But what kind of academic background do you guys have?
Yeah. Wow, super smart guy, eh? Physics. Wow, I don't think I could ever do that. So I have a degree at York. It's university. It's our local university, and it's financial economics is my background.
Oh, it froze.
Oh,
Did something just happen?
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi.
There's a technical issue. Bro, it's not called Wi-Fi issue. It's called technical issue. Oh, it seems that we're having some technical issues over there. Back to reporter Carol. Okay, Carol, how's the weather looking?
Kyle. Where is Kyle? Sunny with a chance.
Where are these guys from?
They're from Markham. They live around where 20 minutes away from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was they said York, like on PA, Pennsylvania, in Canada. Oh, they're back. Yo.
I think they're muted.
US 30 is on the move, Raja.
Yeah, moving up, right, with gold.
Yeah. Broke resistance. Broke yesterday high. It's a beautiful move.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Okay. So,
what happened?
Since we have a lot of people here watching, what's like the easiest way to understand options? Like the most things you guys talked about, like about exploration and everything, just went over my head. Like,
okay,
no clue.
So this is the easiest way to explain it, I think. So options they're actually their own market. So it's not stocks. There's no stock exchange when you're trading an option. It's not Forex. It's its own market. And what you're trading are contracts that give you either the right to buy or sell a stock at a given price. So these contracts have a couple of features about them that are kind of cool. They have expirations. There's a price they let you buy or sell at. And these contracts are worth money. And how much these contracts are worth change over time depending on what happens with the stocks. Right? So I could buy like an option contract on Apple that lets me buy it at $300. And if Apple goes up to $400, that contract is going to become extremely valuable. Right?
Okay.
So then you have a choice there. You can either go out and sell that contract to someone else, or you can actually use the contract to buy Apple at 300, even though it's worth 400 right now.
See, I've seen a lot of stories on Wall Street bets. You guys know about that, right?
Oh man,
Wall Street. I've seen
favorite. Smart guys over there.
Yeah, like I've seen stories on Wall Street bets about like Robinhood where people are doing like put and call options and they're making massive amounts of money. Is that based on having a lot of leverage as well?
Yeah. So the guys on Wall Street bets, so they're throwing their whole account on one trade. But yes, options give you insane leverage, especially if you go, let's say, an out of the money option. So let's say you're looking at USD CAD and you're buying the 1.40 call option.
Okay.
Then you have the right to buy USD CAD at $1.40. So you're only going to probably pay, a few bucks for that contract. And then if USD CAD does go, let's say, to $1.50, which
you'd be retiring on a yacht.
Yeah, and it's that massive leverage that draws a lot of new traders to the market because it's like lottery tickets.
Quick question. Is that like naked options, like what happened to this guy? Rest in peace. Oh.
Yeah.
So he was doing naked options, right? Which they give you like massive leverage, but apparently Robinhood had a glitch when it came to that, and he shouldn't have done that, first of all. But things happen, and they're blaming Robinhood for the glitch, but I don't think that's their fault. It's him trading naked options with such a huge leverage, especially for somebody who's 20 years old, right?
Right. Yeah, a pretty tragic story actually. And like Robinhood better get some good lawyers there, because like people are definitely going to come for them.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure there must have been like some other things going on in the person's life, to be that upset with losing that kind of money. But yes, it is that insane amount of leverage that he was on. Right, there was a glitch in the on Robinhood, and it's pretty sad what happened. But yeah, he basically got like $750,000 worth of leverage on a 20K account.
How much? How much again?
Like $750K.
Wow. On a what?
On a
$20,000 account. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. Jeez.
So I basically I want to know one thing, right? So you guys are managing a fund right now.
Friends and family.
Okay. Friends and family. So
Yeah.
So my next question was, is it open for people to come in? But obviously you answered that question right now.
Yeah. So you know how it is in Canada. Like, as long as you keep it to friends and family, it's easier to get going.
Yeah.
But once you start really expanding, and now everyone's got to be like accredited investors, and there's a whole bunch of loops you have to jump through, hoops you have to jump through. So that's not like the goal is just to keep it small, grow it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Just slowly grow, and once you get to a level where you want, then you can really start expanding it.
Yeah. And like what we're doing with predicting alpha is a little different than the fund, right? Like, it's in the end of the day, options, they're seriously tough. Like, they're not an easy game to play, but they're worth playing in the sense that the reward's there for the people that learn the right things. You know what I mean? And so what we're trying to do with predicting alpha is basically say, like, look, realistically, we can put this stuff out there because most people aren't going to do anything about it, right? But we were lucky enough to like learn some of the math, the coding, and the skills needed to do it. And we're trying to help people who are passionate enough about that particular game, who love options, to actually get there. Because with all the things I told you, like, these are contracts with a time frame, with all of these different elements. They're non-linear products. They have curvature to them, so they get we need a way to like process what's going on if we really want to be able to find an edge in this market. So the goal of predicting alpha is to sort of bridge that gap between what professionals in the space are actually doing, and what everyone else is kind of left to do, right?
Okay. So how does it make predicting alpha like better or like somewhat like different than like what's already out there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So we actually find what's out there right now is the education is not there yet. A lot of the time people are promoting, massive wins and unrealistic expectations. And something that we do at Predicting Alpha is we actually, we don't promise you where you're going to be.
Yeah, we have no idea how much money you're going to make.
We have no idea.
It's like going to school, right? You go to business school, no one knows if you're going to come out and make $40,000 a year or $1 million a year, because it's what you do with your education, right? But all we can guarantee is that you're going to get an excellent trading education. And what really distinguishes us, to be honest, is we take a quantitative approach. So we're going to show you why things happen in a certain way. Whoa. Sorry, this squirrel just like ran right up to us and was like, I just had to stare down with the squirrel. That was weird.
Roger, actually, I would have a question for you because I know you're pretty big in the space.
Yeah.
Like, what do you find that a lot of the retail, like the passionate retail traders, like not the ones that are trying to get rich, but like a lot of your students as well, what do you find that like is lacking? Because you can give them the best education, and some of the people still won't succeed.
I think what's lacking most is what lacking most is the lack of I wouldn't say ambition, but I think social media has really corrupted the process. Like when people come towards like trading or like options or like what else, like equities and futures, the first thing that goes to your mind is, oh, Wolf of Wall Street, money, Rolexes, Instagram, okay, cars, big homes, that's the first thing that goes in their mind. So I think that's where the void is, because like, once you really come into trading, you start to understand that, okay, well, like, before I get to a Rolex or a house, I need to see if I can have a winning trade, right? And
100%.
and the second thing is when they come in, they're like, okay, well, this is the money I have. Like, let's say $1,000, $5,000. You put that in the account. You're like, okay, from this $5,000, I need to make 500 a day. That's the whole mindset is. So the
Yeah.
whole this whole idea about like trading consistently every day has been corrupted by what you see on social media. And you're right. The first thing they see is like how to make a lot of money. And that's not what trading is. And I'm sure you guys can agree in options too, is like, when you come to learn options, it's about seeing like how good is your prediction, because based on your predictions, the money is going to come later on, because then you can like really leverage out your predictions later on and see that, okay, if I'm being profitable, if my calls are really good for the past, let's say, a month, 2 months, or 3 months, now basically I can put in more money and really leverage that to make more in the same way. But man, like, this whole industry is just tainted, like, you're right, like there are a lot of things which are true, then a lot of things which are untrue, so it's really hard to say which is really going to work. And the one big problem I see people make is that they mentor hop. Like they'll go take a course, they'll hop to another course, and then they'll hop to another course, then they'll hop to another complete different system.
Yeah.
And the main problem that guys have is like they don't want to stick to just one thing.
I hear you. Yeah. It's funny. I 100% agree with you, like with all of that. And I think an easy way to sum it up is people just don't want to grind anymore. A lot of people don't want to grind. They want the results without the work. But it's long. Like trading's we got to remember this. Trading's a competition, right? In the end of the day, if you look at the market and you boil it down, there's somebody on the other side of your trade. You got to be better than them if you want to win. It's a zero-sum game. If you make $1, somebody out there is losing $1. And the question we got to ask is like, do I deserve to make that $1?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's true. So, like in options, like, do you guys have different strategies, like we have in Forex as well?
So a lot of our trading is relative value. So what that means is like, well, given Apple, what should Amazon be trading at? Right. So given the volatility level of Apple, how much Amazon? And then what we can do is set up almost like a pairs trade, where we would sell Amazon vol and buy Apple vol, and vol, I mean like volatility. So options are based around volatility, and so that's like one of our main strategies. We don't really play directional. So the thing, like, for example, in Forex is the product is linear, right? If you buy USD CAD and it goes up, you make money. If you buy USD CAD and it goes down, you lose money. In trading, it's in options, it's a bit different. You can buy a call option, the stock goes up, and you can still lose money. So a lot of new traders into the option space forget that, or actually don't even realize that options are volatility products. And so just by knowing that and being able to look at the world through a different lens already gives you an advantage over a lot of the people.
So, okay, let's say I have $5,000, right? I have $5,000 and I'm a new trader. What can I expect from trading options? Like, let's say, okay, now this one big question was when oil was at zero. Now, the idea I had was that, okay, like if I can do let's say an option for oil that I say, okay, the oil should go to $50, is that like the correct way to look at it?
Yeah, we could actually let's talk about the USO thing in this too.
So that first off, that can definitely be approached. But the way that we look at trading is I would say it's a little different lens. So if you look at, so Sean and I were actually short the whole USO debacle, the whole oil debacle, and what was happening was retail traders were buying up USO, thinking it was the oil. They were buying oil, but in fact they were actually buying a derivative. It was the oil futures. So what was happening was the oil futures were getting bid up way past spot price. Right, so spot price being the actual
what oil's trading for right now,
the actual barrel. And so what happens in the futures market is that eventually the future is going to have to expire at spot price. So every day we were getting a roll down in the in
USO.
in USO, and it was absolutely screwing the market, right? It was just going down, even though oil was at negative $30 a barrel.
Yeah, USO was still getting crushed.
So I guess the way that we look at trading is we try to find inefficiencies. I don't know if you guys heard about the whole Zoom scenario.
No.
So there was I'm sure some of your viewers have heard about this. There was a ticker ZOOM, Zoom, and people thought it was the actual company.
Oh yeah, I read about that.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. There was a ticker ZOOM, Zoom, and this is like in late February, early March when the coronavirus just started happening. Zoom, this ticker, which was not the webcast company, people thought it was, and it went from $1 to $50 a share.
Yeah.
And then it got halted and it went back down to like zero.
Because people started buying that.
Right? They're like, I want exposure to Zoom. I want exposure to Zoom. Typed in Zoom. Oh my God.
And so like these are like the inefficiencies that we try to find. And there actually are a lot of these inefficiencies. When you really look for them, you really see where the retail trader, the retail trader really, it's like we want to be on the opposite side of dumb money. If that makes sense. And the option market makes it very accessible to do that. Like you have, for example, a platform like StockTwits, where you can see exactly what's trending. And StockTwits is not hedge funds; it's retail, right? So we can actually, see where all the retail eyes are looking, and then based on that, they actually give you the sentiment. They give you like, are they bullish? Is retail bullish? Are they bearish? How many people are talking about them?
How bullish? How bearish are they?
This one right here.
Yeah. No. StockTwits. It's one word.
StockTwit.
Yeah. Twits.com with S. Yeah. That's the one. So if you type in a ticker, whichever.
Yeah,
whichever
type
ticker
in
you wanna
like TSLA. Just type in Tesla or something.
So you can like click on like sentiment there, right underneath Tesla where it says 1015. Yeah, and price. If you click on sentiment, yeah. So in this case, you can see like 70% of retail are bullish, and then you'll see some stocks that are, let's say, 95% bullish, like
or
GNUS.
100% bullish.
And you can just like fade those all day.
Okay, so these tweets are the most latest tweets based on Tesla.
Correct. And what people are saying.
Okay.
I wonder if they do for currency. I'm not 100% sure.
I think they do have some stuff for currency there.
Yeah, we have the Chinese indicator here for currency. Just joking. That's the Chinese indicator we have. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there has to be something. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is something for.
I think even on StockTwits, you might find some stuff for some of the pairs.
Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at US 30. Oh, there's something else.
That's a person.
Yeah, Mike.
Nothing.
See what Mike.
Just type in GBP. See if it comes up.
Oh, they got.
There it is, right there.
They got futures and everything.
Oh, so they have like the derivatives.
Yeah.
Oh, go to sentiment. Let me see what it is.
50-50 basically.
50-50.
And you can see like the message volume, like how many people are talking about it relative to history.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then it just gives us an indication of where is the dumb money looking.
Right, like unfortunately for that pair you're looking at, it's 50-50. So no indicator there, but like for some of the stocks, like it's unbelievable. You'll actually see that like 100% of the average person is bullish. We gotta think about that, right? It's like somebody has to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? It's a zero-sum game. Who's if they're all buying, who's selling?
Yeah, like wow, Apple rallied here.
Oh
man,
Apple's at 354. That's nuts.
Do you guys have any like unreal Forex strategies that you wanna share? You want to talk about?
Yeah, basically, it's pretty simple. Let's say if price is trending down, you're looking when price trends down, you're basically looking for like a minor retracements, because when you get minor retracements, then like okay, on that retracement, you gotta wait for a candle to form bearish. It's basically all probability, because if you have a candle forming bearish, let's say on a 30-minute time frame, which is a much stronger confirmation time frame, that means there's a high probability for the next candle to continue moving down. For example, if you look at this 30-minute candle forming right now, this 30-minute candle, it's respecting the low of the previous low, but it broke the high of the previous candle, right? So after this big move down, if this candle is closing bullish, there's a very high chance for the next candle to continue bullish as well. So on that premise, you could say, well, okay, if that happens, then I could possibly have a stop loss below the low of the 30-minute candle and anticipate the next one to continue moving bullish. So that's going to be your trade as it starts going up.
So like, would you buy on the next bar right away and then?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Or what you can like sometimes like we have aggressive traders. What they do is they enter before the candle closes. Like let's say your stop loss is going to be down over here. Your stop will always remain the same. Now it's up to you that whether you want to enter over here, have the same stop loss, or if you want to enter somewhere up over here, having the same stop. The only difference is going to be if you enter somewhere right here, your stop is going to be smaller with respect to if you enter up over here, right?
Gotcha.
But you're anticipating the same move to happen. Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Like you do this like once a day, twice a day, and that's about it.
And like, what would you say like the average hold time is?
15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. If you have a runner, like let's say if you take a buy and you put stops at break even, and this can continue to run up towards, let's say 132.750, and from there you could have like a nice like 40 pip trade, 50 pip trade. But the rule of thumb is like most of the time, price will always give you 10, 15, maybe 20 pips all the time. Mostly when people lose is they lose because they keep on holding, they keep on thinking it's going to keep on going. It's like a new trader mentality. When you come into trading, you take a trade, if you're in a winning trade, automatically you say, okay, you know what, this is going to continue going, this is going to keep on going, and then most times it comes up, reverses, hits you at stop loss, or like so.
Exactly. It's funny, after people do that for a while and get burned a couple times, they go the opposite way. Once they make a little bit of money, they take it off the table.
Yeah.
And then they'll have a loser and they'll be like, oh, it'll come back. And they'll like let it go through their stop or something.
Yeah, and that's why the losers, they become way more than winners, because then your winners become really, really low because you're really impatient with winners.
Yeah.
But it's different, right? Because like in the start, you're really patient with losers because you're letting them run. And you're really impatient with winners because you're closing them ASAP.
Right.
But now for me, since we've been doing live streams, now the whole idea has changed because since we came to the live streams, I was forced to be disciplined. Because fuck man, I got like 1,000 people watching. Like they're judging you, and some are just following you as well. So I really had to be really impatient with my losses. And I figured out that, okay, if I'm going to be really impatient with my losses, that would mean my losses are kept smaller. Even though I can't increase my winners, because that's the hardest thing to do. But when I'm really controlling my losses, my winners are going to automatically start looking bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Like, I think that's like, the old folklore, right? Is cut your losses and let your winners run. But it's so hard for people to actually to do it.
Yeah, I think it's hard to really comprehend that idea. That's the
thing. And it's funny, like that's not even like just a trading thing. That's a human bias, right? Like one of these biases that I look at when I'm trading is loss aversion. So the cool thing about psychology is like a lot of people, they focus on their own psychology, but once you have that down, once you really are in a position where you're confident going into the game, you actually use psychology to look outwards into the market, right? And one of the things that I'm sure I've definitely been subjected to it, and I see it in the market all the time, is called loss aversion, which is basically that against all rationality, you'll hold on to a losing position in hopes that it comes back at least a little bit so you can get out at like a bit of a better exit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, right? You're laughing there. It's like we all know that, right? It's like, oh, it went down to $6. It's like, I'll get out at 7. Or you know what? It was a good buy at 8. I'll buy some more now. I'll average down my price. And it's like people will just hold on to these losing positions forever, rationalizing them to themselves against all probabilities. And it's crazy to like we all have it. We've all done it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to still see it it's on a large scale in the market.
Yeah, I basically, that's how I learned about break and retests, right? And the way I learned about break and retests was that, okay, so let's say that this is a support we have, right? We have a support right over here. So what I would do is I would like, okay, if price is at support, it's bearish, so I'm going to take a sell because, price comes to support, so sell, right? So then what I would do is okay, so I'm going to take buy, right? So when price comes to support, you buy because that's the thing, support means buy, resistance means sell. So I'm like, okay, I'll take a buy. So I would take a buy right over here, anticipating price to go up. Price would go up in maybe like 4 or 5 pips, and then it would come down into a drawdown. Now, as me being a new trader, I was following the rules. The rule was, okay, I'm going to buy support, and I'm going to place a stop loss below support. Now, once price comes into a drawdown, I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? It's still at support. I'm going to remove my stop loss because, I'll give price some breathing room. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. So I do that. Now I go in a drawdown. Now my drawdown goes from, let's say, -20, it goes towards -50. This is a real story that happened to me over and over again, right? So now my drawdown is -50. So I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, you know what? Now we're in drawdown. Okay, so now I'm going to go to lunch, come back, and hopefully we'll be in profits. Perfect. So I come back, and price is somewhere over here, and my drawdown is like -5. I'm like, okay, it's -5. It's obviously coming back. If it comes to break even, I'll close it all out, and I'm done for the day. Awesome, perfect. Right. So go to the washroom, shower, whatever, come back. Now when I come back, my drawdown is back at -40 now. And I'm like, oh shit, what's happening over here? Now my drawdown is even bigger. I'm like, okay, well, I guess market gave me an opportunity to exit my trade over here. So, okay, now maybe if I go meditate or if I go pray to God that this may come back.
That's the meditation.
Yeah, so then I'm going to do that. You're like, okay, perfect. So you go away, you go about your day, you do stuff. And when you come back, price is way over here and your drawdown is -$200. Yeah. And now at this point, you're like, man, this is super. Yeah, exactly, right? You're confused. So when I started to look at this, I started to look at my losses. I'm like, wait a minute. This was a break and a retest, right? Price was at support. I bought support expecting price to go up. But price broke support, came down, and did a retest at this point. So maybe this was my exit. And that's how I learned about break and retest. So I'm like, shit, such a dummy.
Like, and what's so painful about that, like, because I can totally relate to that, like it's so many of my trades in the past, like when you end up in that situation where you're like, you've made your like 5th pivot on a trade and you're doing it like kind of on the fly, it's like, how far are you from your original plan? You were so far off the path that you were originally on, and it's like, are you anything but emotional driven at that point?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh God, let me go pray to God. Let me go meditate. Maybe if I eat a sandwich, I'll come back. I'll be in a clear mind. It's like that is a painful situation to be in as a trader.
Yeah, man, it's pretty tough. It was a big learning experience, though.
Yeah, you gotta take the good from it for sure.
Yeah, but we're coming into CAD retail sales here. You guys follow the news at all?
No, barely.
No? Oh, okay.
Just the main news. So that's nothing too exciting other than that.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain what's going on here?
Yeah, the CAD retail news is coming on in like a minute over here. They're expecting retail to be really down. The only thing is I think retail is going to be really, really up. The US had really positive retail sales data on Tuesday. Canadian retail sales data, I think it should also be good because, like with COVID-19 happening and the government literally giving out money to everybody, people have been buying a lot of stuff. So that adds to the retail numbers. So I'm predicting it's going to be good. And
yeah, it'd be, it'd be surprising. Like, I'm trying to just think, like, because I'll be very interested to see those numbers, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's
in
cool
right
because
now.
if you actually if you had a good conviction in that view, like that's the type of information we want to be trading on, because like that's like where you disagree with the market, right?
Yeah,
So
because
I love stuff like that.
yeah, because CAD is going to be strong. I think USD CAD should continue falling bearish.
Mm.
And
Yeah, and we have oil supporting that as well, right? All the oil coming back.
yeah. Oh wow, looks like the data was bad. It spiked up here a little bit. Let's take a look here. Wow. Oh, the data was super bad. Oh wow, super duper bad.
Is Ted on this stream?
No, he's not
Sleeping
on
in
here
at
today.
night.
Yeah,
Had a late night, eh?
He's feeling the guts right now.
Yeah.
Wake him up. Let's wake him up.
Exactly. Where the heck is this guy?
No, we can't. He's grumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if some guys had some questions here in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I'd love to take any questions.
Wow, look at USD CAD drop. Even though we had bad numbers, it's
getting
dropping.
smoked.
Yeah,
I was about to tell you that manipulations.
manipulation.
Yeah, and GBP JPY is taking big nice push because I'm already in profits.
Yeah, GPJPY had like a nice push up here as well. Yeah. See, this is all prediction based on how the previous candle is forming here. What
Yeah, that is
platform? What platform do you
unbelievable.
guys use for options trading?
We use interactive brokers, but there's a few other ones.
You
Thinkorswim's okay.
Oh, Thinkorswim is good.
Yeah, Thinkorswim's okay. So we're in Canada, and the commissions are just way too high.
Oh.
A lot of the time, traders forget that commissions are part of the trade, and they forget to factor that into their expected edge when they're trading. So interactive brokers has the best commissions. You actually get rebates from the exchange, so it's where we have our money.
It's unfortunate though because it's such a clunky platform.
Yeah.
It's honestly like you pull it up and it looks like Windows 2001 or something. Like it's
Same as
Good feels.
MetaTrader. Have you ever seen MetaTrader before?
Man, I feel like that platform's from 1980.
Yeah, it's like maybe 70s.
It was originally run on paper.
Yeah. MetaTrader 4. And MetaTrader
No,
5 is
man.
like,
MetaTrader is actually a litlittle bit better than IB, man. The platform. I'll say that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's actually brutal.
Yeah, man.
Kev, you remember on Talking Options, the girl? She was using what? Thinkorswim, right?
Yeah, Thinkorswim is like the more advanced platform. It's like
And
their
TV,
software
right?
is. Yeah.
Yeah, their software is A1, but
Yeah,
if we were in the US, we'd probably be using it.
Yeah, this lady, she does a lot of astronomy. She uses a Thinkorswim, but she trades based of moon patterns and.
Oh my
things like
God.
that.
It's a little wild. Is there any anyone here that trades options?
No, we all
Yeah,
find it too complicated.
I used to trade options back in the days. I traded options and futures. So
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely a tough game.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
also a
reason
fun
why-
game though. Big competition.
Yeah.
It's super competitive.
Yeah, I made a killing on, like, it doesn't take a lot of capital to make a killing on options, but if you're like not handling your risk properly, it could go bad
blow
really
up.
fast. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's one of those
Like-
things, right? If you're playing with leverage, kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, I was trading options when Bank of America back in the day was like $9, $11 when it dropped. So
Oh no.
yeah.
You guys have any good Forex stories? Where maybe like
Yeah, you got any
best
crazy
Forex
trades?
or worst Forex trade ever?
My worst one was trying to trade interest rates back in April 2019. No, 2018. It was super bad. I had a fresh check come in from my commissions, $60,000, dropped in the account, dropped that in Tuesday. Wednesday morning it came in my account. Wednesday there was ranging, so there was no trade. So I was like, all right, perfect, time to get the interest rates on. So my account was $60,000 and interest rates came on. I think they reduced the rates. Gold spiked up. I took a 50 lot buy on gold. It went down to 15 pips. No, actually I sold gold as it spiked up. And it went up 15 pips, lost $7,000 right there. I'm like, okay,
Gone.
shit. Okay, no problem, Raja. You got this. And then I bought gold, and then gold dropped down. And I'm like, oh shit. So there's like 15 pips gone right there as well. So now I'm down 14,000. And like, how gold moves in interest rates, right? Just like quick 15 pips, 20 pips, and it was just bad. In like 15 minutes, I was down like, 22,000. I was like, yeah, fuck this.
I'm gonna go for a walk.
No, and then we went to get groceries.
Yeah, you're like, I move on with my day. It's okay.
Yeah, I'd be like, shit.
And you pray to God again.
Yeah.
And then you pray to God again. You gotta.
And then he meditated.
Yeah, no, and then after that, I never ever touched interest rates again. Yeah.
You guys find like you're starting to get numb to some of the big wins and the big losses? I'm sure some of you guys with experience, it's like
with wins.
Yeah.
With wins now, if I get a win like yesterday I closed the trade like 4,500, and that was just like I just expected it. I think the big wins really started to affect me when I was taking bigger losses too. When I really controlled losses, that told me that okay, like I'm in control of my losses. When you're controlling losses, because if you're getting big losses, you're not really in control. You're letting them run. You're removing stops. You're moving stops as well. So that really affects you. But when you're really controlling losses and you're getting those big moves, so you look at those big wins as big moves. You're like, oh yeah, I caught this move. I expected it to go that way. Like in the start when I would win, I remember this one day I won like $10,000. That was I had a $22,000 account. I dropped a 15 lot on gold. There was a CPI news that came out. I had a sell stop. My sell stop got slipped by 40 pips on a 15 lot, and then it dropped even more. It dropped more 60 pips. Right, so that was a huge win. That really shook me that, oh shit, I made a lot of money here. That was in the early days, so those things really moved me a lot. But those are also the days where, I would win big, but I would lose big too. So there was balance in winning and losing, but now I think like when you really mature in the market, you start to look at losses like, okay, this trade doesn't really make sense. It's not logical to hold this loss. You're just gonna close that loss. But if you're in a winning trade, you're like, okay, this trade makes sense for it to go to a certain level. I'm probably gonna hold it. And it gets there regardless to what lot size you're using. Then you're like, okay, like I expected it, and I just got the outcome what I expected.
Yeah. Hey Roger, when did you know that like you're like, I can make money here? Like I'm actually, or like I'm making money now. Like not just because something that I always see in trading, which is so tough, is like, people go on winning streaks, losing streaks, but like it's always sort of ambiguous about where they're going to end up. When did you know that like I'm going to be profitable?
My first withdrawal, dude. My first withdrawal was $4,000, and when that came in the bank, I was like, yeah, this works. Before my first withdrawal, I didn't withdraw for the first 5 months at all. I would make money, I would compound my account, blow it, compound it again, blow it, compound it again, bring it down, compound. I wasn't withdrawing, and the day I made my first good withdrawal, that was a $4,000. The day it came, I remember this, bro. My account was at 8,000 in my bank account. $4,000 came in. It went from 8,000 to 12,000.
You're in the 5-figure club now.
That was a big change. That was the turning point, man.
Game changer.
For the first 8 months, I had no withdrawals, and then a withdrawal came, and I was like, "Wow, this is real now. I can spend this money now." And that's wow. I think that's a mistake that people make, that they don't withdraw. They're mostly focused on, oh, I'm going to compound. I'm going to compound till when? How long are you compound till? You have to withdraw some, because when you don't withdraw that money, you don't feel it. It's different, man. Like when you have money in a trading account, that's way different than what you have in a bank account. It feels different.
Mm-hmm. So when did you know you were profitable?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Probably, like, okay, so the way that we trade is like we find an inefficiency. So imagine you can find and like this did happen. You know, Bitcoin trading on Deribit for $10,000, and then trading on BitMEX for $9,000. You know, you have arbitrage there, and you basically know you're instantly profitable. And so for me, it was a little bit of a different approach. It's like, well, if I find this trade here, I basically, I have a pretty good chance of making money in this case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like a way to think about it is like, if the option market thinks that Apple's going to move 50% tomorrow, and I look at past data and I say, well, there's no chance Apple's going to move 50% tomorrow, then I can feel pretty confident, that this trade is going to make money for me. But so Sean and I do a lot of different strategies, and we're always trying to find that inefficiency. So I guess once we found that inefficiency, then we knew, okay, you know what, this is like, we're actually going to be starting to make money here.
Yeah, like an easy way to sort of really think about that is you just think about it in terms of what's called expected value, right? So that's the mentality that I carry forward in all of my trades. It can be summed up in those two words, expected value. And what that is, it actually comes from statistics, but it's basically answering the question, if I were to take this trade 1,000,000 times into the future, do I come out profitable?
Yeah.
Do I actually have an edge in this trade, right? If I take into account my risk to reward and my probabilities of winning and losing, if I take into account all the different factors of this trade, am I on average making money here? Right. And once you can answer that, once you can really internalize that question and apply that to your trades like thoroughly, right, which does involve like, knowing your product thoroughly and all that stuff. But once you can do that, you sort of can feel like this is a positive expected value trade. I'm on average going to make money taking trades like that. And once you can do that, all you have to do now is manage your risk. Because think about it like a casino, right? When a casino goes on a losing streak, right? When someone sits at the blackjack table and beats the casino 10 times in a row, the casino doesn't say, get that guy out of here. He's beating us. The casino does the opposite. They go, hey man, have a drink. Here's a few drink vouchers. You know what? You're a high roller. Here's a hotel room right above the casino. Stay, play a while. And that's not, they're not hoping that, they're going to win the next round. They know that if that person stays there for the entire time, if they stay there all night, the odds are seriously in their favor that they're going to win, because you can actually run the equation for, if the casino has a 52% edge, right? So odds of the casino winning are 52%, odds of the gambler winning are 48%, and the gambler bets $10 every time. The casino on average makes 40 cents
per $10
on average. And that's why you always hear the gambler say, oh, I should have walked away then. Oh, I should have walked away when I was up, because they don't have the edge. The casino has the edge.
Yeah.
When you think like that about your trades, it's like, I'm on average gonna make money here, and like, it's a good trade.
Mm-hmm. And I would also add on to that. It's like something where I also knew I was profitable was like, after the trade was done, regardless of the outcome, I would say to myself, I wouldn't have done anything differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like you always hear people say, oh, I was being greedy. After the trade goes against them, like if there's a bad outcome, then they could have done something differently. And I'm sure you hear that all the time, Raja, with a lot of your students is, oh, I was being greedy here, or I was being selfish.
Yeah.
But you as a trader, we can't say like bad outcomes equals bad trade or good outcomes equals good trade. We need to say like, well, even though we have a good trade, we're still going to lose sometimes, right? Even though the casino has a positive expected value, they're still going to lose some hands. And so that's how we really think about trading. It's just, can we find a small edge in the market and then just play as many times as possible?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yeah, I know exactly, and that's exactly what it is. And like I think when you introduce new methods, or let's say when you introduce like a new like a strategy, then you're kind of like mixing two things together, and you're breaking the odds of winning into even like let's say if someone trades, oh, I'm gonna wait for a candle to form in my direction, and then I'm gonna expect the next one to go up. Now there's a set probability that's gonna happen all the time. Like there may be a 70% probability, or let's say 60% probability that's going to happen all the time. In the same way, if you start saying about, okay, and then I'm going to add, let's say, an indicator onto the chart. Now, what's happening is now you're adding an indicator, but you're also adding the probabilistic win of that indicator with your price action. Right now, you're really mixing those two things. So I think that's where most people fail too, because they start looking at different things in the same movement. Because in all honesty, like price is just going to go up or down, right? It's either going to go up or it's going to go down.
Right.
How many things do you need in the chart to tell you whether it will go up or down? That's what I ask guys. Like, if you need more than two things in the chart, then maybe your basic knowledge about charts is not there, or your trust is not there, or you're not confident enough yet that if price is going to go up or down.
Yeah, like I do agree. Like in the quant world, we'd call that like what would be like overfitting, or like what's the term for when you're doing too much data research.
Yeah, you're overfitting.
You're overfitting,
you're
right?
putting on too much stuff, too many indicators.
Exactly, right. And you actually can lose your edge doing it. The question we always ask is just like, does it have predictive power? Can the indicator you're using, like when you overfit it, it loses the predictive power. It loses the ability to actually forecast into the future what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to just have high value indicators that you use, right? Or factors that you consider.
And Roger, I think you made a really good point there about like the confidence in your strategy. So, if you look at like if you flip a coin and you have 1 million people flip a coin, someone is going to flip, let's say 20 heads in a row, 30 heads in a row. So if you go on a losing streak, a lot of traders, especially new traders, say to themselves, oh, this isn't working anymore. You are just experiencing a drawdown. And then what they'll do is they'll change their strategy, or they'll add an indicator, right? And a lot of that comes from they're not very confident in their strategy, right? They don't actually know if their strategy actually works. Like a casino, for example, will always know that they have an expected value, right? That they're going to make money on average. So they're not going to be, changing the table or,
kicking the guy out, waiting for a new guy. They're just like, everyone's the same. Just play the game.
I got a quick question for you guys. Somebody asked on the YouTube chat, what's the win rate for you guys?
Yeah, I guess we should say what our kind of performance has been.
Yeah, so you guys will probably be like, we suck, but we actually, our win rate is actually 57% of the time.
57, that's good, profitable.
57. Yeah, it's like we actually would consider that pretty high. But I'm sure a lot of people are striving for like that 75% win rate, that 80% win rate.
Right.
You should share what it got us though, right? Like.
Oh yeah. So we did 70% year over year for the past 3 years, compounded annual growth. So yeah, even though we have a small edge, we can make a lot of money. And like I don't want to keep using a casino example, but even a 1% or 2% edge can make you billions of dollars. Right? If you can play enough games, then that 2% edge will really show itself in the long run, and you can make a lot of money.
Yeah, 33% on Forex can get too profitable as long as your RR.
Exactly.
Your win ratio, it's good. It's more than, let's say, 1 to 2 or maybe 1 to 3.
Yeah. So
people forget that all the time. They'll just talk about win rates, or they'll just talk about RR. But I'm like, you can't really have one without the other, because let's say you win 99% of the time, but the one time you lose it all.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like what people forget about when something's a 99% chance of success and 1% chance of losing is that 1% happens.
Correct.
Right.
So,
and that's why, like, when we look at a strategy, when we look at a factor, we test it over a really long period of time. Right. We put a lot of research into saying, like, why does this work? Why should I put my money behind this thing?
Right.
Because something might, like, and you'll see it a lot in the option space. Like, there's a lot of strategies that are pushed as like a passive income strategy that make small bits of money all the time. But what we call that is picking up pennies in front of a steamroller.
Yes,
Right?
somebody said that actually here on the Zoom.
Right?
Called, something about naked options. What?
Yeah, yeah. You're
mentioned
selling
it?
them.
Yeah,
You're selling them all day. You're making lots of money. You know, a little bit here, a little bit here, day over day, and then one day the bottom falls out of the market or something, and you're at the soup kitchen.
Yeah,
You know?
the soup kitchen.
I've had my fair bit of
Completely homeless.
Yeah, you're on food stamps now. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
I've been at that soup kitchen quite a few times.
Oh yeah. How did that soup taste? Good.
That's actually where we met.
Yeah, cream of broccoli
Okay,
on Wednesdays. Man. Can't go wrong with it.
Definitely try it out. All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for the question.
All right. So we're kind of running out of time here, like for myself here on Fridays. If someone wants to find you, contact you, or get more information, what's the best way for that?
Do you want to say what we're doing?
Yeah. So a couple ways. Honestly, Instagram's a great way to reach us. But look, like one thing that I always thought, because options, the approach we're trying to bring to people, like honestly, most people have not been exposed to it. And if I didn't have hedge fund managers and some pretty serious dudes in my life, I never would have seen this stuff. It's not something that you actually just see. So what we actually are doing is, before anyone, is interested in our academy, anything like that, we're going to put our money where our mouth is. So next week, Tuesday to Friday, Jordan and I are going to live stream us trading a $100,000 cash account, like full transparency, like brokerage on screen, everything. There's a little video I made about it. I threw that up last night.
Yeah, right now.
And we're going to be giving away 50% of the profits that we make during that week. So if you guys want to, tune into that, it would be pretty exciting.
Yeah, giving away 50%. You can watch that video that Raj just got up there. It explains why we're doing this, right? It's, I honestly believe like that's why I love your guys' morning stream, because you need to put your money where your mouth is, right? If you're gonna make big claims, if you're gonna try and get people to listen to what you have to say, you have to lead by example, right? So what better way than to put our money where our mouth is?
So this already happened, or?
No, this is next week.
This is June 19th.
Yeah. I need to change the date. I need to change the date.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so for everyone, no.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
I definitely screwed up the date, but
yeah, it's Tuesday to Friday next week. We're going to be streaming live for the whole trading session. So from we are at Eastern Standard, so from 9:30 till 4 p.m. We're going to be streaming.
And give me some leniency on messing up that date, man. It's COVID. I don't even know what day of the week it is right now, except I know it's a weekday because the markets are open.
Yeah, because really I was looking, I was like, maybe they meant July.
Yeah, right? No. It's just that's being stuck inside for way too long getting to me.
Yeah, awesome. So that's going to be streamed live on YouTube. On YouTube.
And we're talking we're going to figure out exactly how we're going to do it, but it's going to be the full day. So from market open to market close, we're going to show exactly what we do all day, right? We were able to get pretty far, right? We raised, close to pretty much 7 figures. We're 25 years old, raised 7 figures. We've been crushing the market.
Yeah. And last year we won the largest option competition in Canada. It's called the TMX Option Trading Competition.
Yeah, talk to us about that. How did that go?
Oh man, that was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So I graduated last year, and I was so it's basically 2,000 graduates, undergrads across Canada. It's a 5K prize, and then it's also another 2,500 from the school. So it was pretty. It was like 75 up top, and it was pretty exciting. It was definitely challenging, but you just find a small edge, and then just play it as much as you possibly can. Hit it with everything you've got.
Yeah. Well, we packed on some good heat on that one.
And it was, since it was it was a competition, we packed on a little bit of heat.
Yeah. So what happens? Like, do you guys get like a account to trade? Is that like a certain wins you need to get?
Yeah. So it's you start with 100,000 notional, and then you can't put more than 5% of your account on a specific trade.
So you can't just buy Tesla calls and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's what they're trying to avoid there. Is a couple of the guys buying Tesla calls. So yeah, it was definitely challenging. And a lot of the time, the way they had the simulation was you had to cross the bid and the ask. So if you wanted to, let's say, sell a position, you'd have to sell on the bid. And if you wanted to buy a position, you have to buy on the ask. So there wasn't like any middleman liquidity happening. So it was really tough. You know, you're already giving away a huge edge. In the Canadian markets, the options market have extreme wide bid-ask spreads. So you're giving away a lot of edge, which is what made it so tough. But we turned 100,000 into 300K in like 3 months.
Yeah, and the competition is just who can turn it into the most money.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Over the span of 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
That's why when I was saying we packed on a bit of heat, we took some pretty big risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys were like.
And what you guys mostly trade in that contest?
Yeah, so I was long volatility. So I found that there was a few names that were systematically underpricing volatility, meaning that the options were like systematically
cheap.
Underpriced. Yeah, systematically cheap. So I could buy those and I make money.
Okay.
That was the main strategy.
Do you guys ever trade the VIX?
So I trade the futures on the VIX. Yes.
Okay.
I do trade that. It's
That's a complex product.
Yeah, it's a very, very complex product. A lot of people, like for example, will trade VXX and not understand, you know, what's actually going on behind the scenes. But yeah, it's a very complex product.
Yeah. But that competition was a lot of fun. But they kind of screwed us though. The year before we won, the winners of that competition got to go give a speech in front of the Toronto Montreal Exchange, which is the options exchange in Canada. And then the year we won it,
nothing.
And I was like,
what?
what?
Down the prize from 10 to
yeah,
5.
and they cut down the prize as well. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah. This
honestly, we only did the competition for the clout.
yeah, exactly. You know, like. It is what.
Oh man, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun though. I can't lie.
Do they have like a bell like on the NYSE? You know, at 9:30 they ring the bell. Toronto Exchange.
You know what? I'm sure they do, but to be honest, I couldn't give you.
That's a good idea.
Because
I don't know. I would know if they let me do my speech.
Yeah. You better ring the bell, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Man. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, here's your prize.
Yeah.
You get to ring the bell. It's like, oh my god.
So for people starting out in options, what's going to be one advice you'd want to give to someone who's just starting out in options?
Yeah, I would say first off, you have to love the game. Like if you don't love this game, like seriously love the game, where you're spending every waking hour thinking about this, it's not for you. You know, at the end of the day, not everyone's cut out for trading, and we have to understand that. Not everyone's cut out to be in the NBA. You could love basketball, but maybe you're not cut out for it. Maybe you're only 5'6". So you have to really love the game, and you have to be decently intelligent. That's the first thing that you need. And the second thing I would say is try to cut out the noise. There's so much noise out there in terms of where you can learn from. Start out with the Bible of option trading, which is Sheldon Natenberg, Option Pricing and Volatility. There's a free PDF online. If you go to LibGen.
I don't know if you should be shouting that out on the stream.
No? If you guys go to LibGen, I don't know if you guys have done that, but it's a great source.
Free books.
Yeah, free books. So Sheldon Natenberg, Option Pricing and Volatility, but make sure that you love the game. That's
the biggest thing,
that's
man.
the biggest thing.
It's the biggest thing.
Because like Raj, and I'm sure all the other panelists here know, it's a grind. Like for anyone who doesn't say trading is a grind, it is straight up lying to you.
Yeah.
Right, but my question is, like, since I've only traded Forex, like the transition from Forex to options, would it be a big difference?
So the methodology would be the same. Like cut your losers, let your winners run. Try to find mispricings. Try to have a better forecast in the market. At the end of the day, you're playing against the market, right?
Right.
Try to have a better forecast. So the methodology is going to be the same. At the end of the day, we're still trading. We're still trying to buy high, buy low, sell high.
Right.
The only thing that would change is the product. So you would need to understand the product.
Right. Stocks and all of that.
Right. And how options work, how they're priced. And then once you get that and you have a good methodology going, you're gonna be making money.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people saying that Forex is a lot more complicated than options, and I just can't grasp that.
One of the things about trading that we need to keep in mind is like you can actually relate it to poker in this analogy. It's like a professional poker player, if they want to make money, they don't want to go play against other professionals. They want to go play against the guy who's at his stag in Vegas having a few drinks, or the wealthy businessman who's having a few drinks and just looking to have some fun while he waits for his flight. That's who he wants to play against if he wants to make money. So equally as important as having skill is picking the right table, right? You want to make money? Why are you going to go play against people better than you? You got to go play against people that you have an advantage over.
That's funny because Ted uses that same analogy.
Does he?
Yeah, for Forex.
He must have got it from us. He must have got it from us.
He stole that.
I
Don't tell me you said that.
Yeah. We'll let that one slide this time. But that's the game, right? So in options, right? Like you have Robinhood, for example. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff that you'll see in them. Like if you can actually look, deep into the market at what's going on with the prices of these things, it's unbelievable what this influx of new traders has really done to the space. It is so inefficient right now that for the sophisticated trader that knows what to look at, you're literally salivating at the mouth the last 6 months. Market crash, no market crash. It's just been unbelievable. And so that's the thing, right? At this table, we have a pretty good edge, right? With the degree of sophistication we have, with the skills we have an edge over the person on the other side of our trade. And we've been in options for a while, so we haven't done that look into Forex. Forex is a very liquid market, right? So that's why it could be tougher for Forex for sure.
Yeah, and we definitely give our applause to you guys, or raise our hats to you guys for being able to do well in Forex. It's a liquid market. It's very tough. You got some big players in there, so it's always nice to see you guys being able to crush it there.
Yeah, I think it's more of psychological too. I mean, you take a trade, your trade runs for 5-10 minutes, and then you got to be able to call it a day and come back the next day. The more you stick in it, the more you try to do it, the more you're going to lose.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest challenge that people have.
Yeah, my uncle actually said to me once, he was like, you could give the best strategy in the world to the average person and they'd still lose money.
Yeah.
Because they'd somehow find a way to buy high and sell low. They'd still figure it out. They wouldn't be able to and this is the thing Jordan was talking about earlier, where when you go on a losing streak and someone hops strategies, it's so funny. It's sort of like a combination of what you were saying before, Raja, and what Jordan was saying there. It's they'll be short the market and the market will go up, and then they'll switch to a strategy based on the market going up and the market will go down. And now they're sitting there and they're like, do I switch strategies again? Do I stick with it? What do I do? And that's just not that's why I think one of the most important things about trading is have your emotions in check before you come to the table.
Yeah.
Have yourself figured out. You gotta be ready to take on the tough stuff, and you gotta have a good idea of what this game is really gonna look like. There's gonna be drawdowns, right? There's gonna be big upswings, big downswings, and the question always becomes am I using the right strategy that I come out a winner in the end?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and you just can't switch or jump horses or jump bandwagons based on 1 or 2 losses. That's just not going to happen.
Well, you'll be switching strategies for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? If you're not, you found an ARB, and you should be taking. If you found something that you're going to win 100% of the time, you should be borrowing as much money as you can and dumping it into that trade. If you're going to win 100% of the time, you should be doing that. But no one's going to find that.
Yeah.
You're not going to find this 100% of the time win. You have to accept losses as a part of the game.
Raja, I know we're running out of time here, and I'll actually maybe give one last thing that really helped me, it really changed me, that my mentor told me, and it was a really good quote. It's most of the time, play tight to the vest, watch your risk closely, and make enough to live well. But when you find those very rare trades that have huge possible returns, leverage it up. Go all
for
in
it
on those trades.
Just smash them.
But most of the time, play tight to the vest, manage your risk, live well, and when you find those big trades,
go for it.
Push it. You have to take the risk. We are traders, we are risk takers, and we have to do it.
Just got to put the foot to the pedal hard.
That's it.
Yeah. Ramp it up.
But only when you have that really good positive expected value.
Yeah, exactly. Not all the time.
Don't be doing that on your first trade.
Yeah.
Yo, these guys told me to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah. By the way, just a quick disclaimer: none of this is financial advice.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We really appreciate that. That was fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It was awesome.
And Raja, I noticed on your screen, I appreciate you scrolling through some of our stuff. That was really cool, man.
Yeah, man, not a problem. Hopefully in the future we can do this again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, after we'll see how next week goes. We might have to disappear for a while, depending on how.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna be doing it live, like fully live, like the whole account.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it'll be very eye-opening.
Yeah.
Glad to be talking options again.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, cool. Yeah, and shoot us a message if you want to talk more. We can definitely chat.
Yeah, I gave you guys a shout out on Instagram as well.
Oh, thanks a
man.
lot.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
It was a pleasure. We'll talk to you
guys.
soon. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a good
Friday,
weekend,
enjoy the
everybody.
weekend.
You too,
Bye-bye.
guys. Have fun.
You too.